Konnichiwa. Welcome to the Martial Maze. I'm with my partner in crime, ɡabɾiˈew Shidoshi.
And I'm with my partner in crime, Israel Lopez Sensei.
Awesome. Let's get to it. I'm really excited about this particular episode. Our guest at this time is a professional Brazilian boxer, a mixed martial artist who has competed in the heavyweight division and the Ultimate Fighter Championships. He is best perhaps known for his upset head knockout of Mirko Cro Cop at UFC 70. In 2006, he won the gold medal in the ultra heavyweight division at the World Jiu-Jitsu Championships, commonly referred to as the Mundials. He has a 4th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Our guest at this time, Gabriel Gonzaga. Hola, bienvenido, Martial Maze. How are you doing, sir?
Good. Thanks to having me here.
Oh, man. You know, I watched a lot of your fights. I mean, I kind of know your portfolio off the top of my head, but I did bring some club notes just in case. But so, I know you were a young man when you really started getting it going. So what brought you into the martial sciences, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Do you have a discipline that came before that?
No, I actually did judo 1 month before. I started as 14 years old in Brazil. Important to know self-defense, and 14 years old start to have the friends pushing each other to know who is higher on the top of the food chain, and to learn how to defend myself. I did start judo because it was 2 miles of my house, like really close, but I did not have money to keep paying, and I stopped it after a month. And my master Van der Braga started to teach in the same condo that I was living at the time. So my grandma gave me one more month of money. I did again, and the money again was because at the time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was really expensive in Brazil. And as well judo in the place that I used to live, because I was living across the street from the beach, like 100 feet from the beach. My grandfather and my mother, everybody lived close to the beach, and my grandfather was kind of rich, but he was broken down, like he was in the process of losing some money, and he was still living in a rich place but with no money. Then I didn't know, and I went to train and didn't have money anymore. Then I told my coach, "Oh, sorry coach, I need to stop." I say, "Oh no, keep coming, don't need to pay, I'm gonna give you a purse."
That's nice.
And then I never stopped, from the white belt to the black belt with Van der Braga. So I always represent him, always did everything to be well represent him. And until my blue belt, I never miss a class. So took like 2 years without miss a class for any reason. I never miss a class. And of like 16, you start to have more other things to do. But even though I'm into purple belt, I miss maybe 2 or 3 classes, and and brown belt a little more, because he moved farther from where I live, and I moved to a place with a little less power of income. So wasn't a ghetto, but wasn't nice. How was the same place that I was raised. So
in the favela,
What wasn't a favela? Thanks, but I had a really good life thanks to my grandfather. I was raised in a really nice place in Rio.
Okay.
But then when I made 18, 19, my grandfather was dead already, so I moved out to São Paulo to try to live with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, start to teach in one of the affiliates of my coach there in São Paulo.
Okay, so now it leads me to a question. I know Barack is finna to get in, but so now I have to ask, because I mean, you didn't exactly live in the ghetto, but you at some point you were around the hood, and I know that you're a big dude, so you were probably a big kid. So I'm almost certain you got tested. Like there were people who picked a fight with you. Did you ever use the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu outside of the dojo to survive?
No, not survive in the sense. I did fight once before I started training, because, like I was saying, the test of friendship fighting, like you say this, I didn't say that, like 14 years old fighting kid. But the guy was already blue belt and I didn't train nothing, so he beat me up, even though I was a little bigger than him. But I wasn't thick, or I was just tall. And after I started to train, I never need to fight. I never did a real street fight.
Okay.
Maybe one push here or pushing there, but I never land a punch in nobody on the streets.
Well, yeah, well, I mean,
and I never received too. So
well, that's some of the beauty about being a big guy. Unfortunately, don't let the shoulders fool you. I didn't grow into a body until I got way older. I got picked on a lot.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And like I said, the neighborhood that I was raised wasn't a problem. So I had lucky on that. But after but I wasn't smart enough to understand what's going on and trying to improve my understanding, and I knew that this could happen, so I did training well a lot. So I started to, and after I got my black belt, some guys was doing Vale Tudo, the time that the MMA with less rules, and I need to try that to prove that to myself that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will defend myself.
Okay.
And then I did, and then I add boxing, and then I add I keep adding.
We gonna get into that. Don't worry, that's coming. That's coming. We're gonna talk about that.
Definitely. What I want to know is that you got into BJJ when you were much younger. Now it has evolved.
Yes.
Now, how do you like the evolution, and what do you think the differences were from back when you first started and what is going on today with all the different brands of BJJ?
Yeah. Really important understanding of the sense of the word evolution. Everybody want to say evolution. They believe that something is getting better. But the word evolution means that's changing. Sometimes can change for worse. You can evolve for less efficiency. So in this sense of the evolution, I do believe that had so many evolution on every sport for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is the information is free on the internet for anyone to learn whatever they want. And in this sense, you lose a lot of control what should learn first. Like when you build a college, they're going to be a brain surgeon. He need to know how to stitch, right?
Yes.
Even though he's not going to stitch much anymore, right? Someone gonna do the stitch for him because he's gonna be part of one team. But before he learn how to stitch, so he gonna, if the guy after him do a bad stitch, he gonna say, oh, that's a bad stitch, so come back do it again. And I believe that what happened with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was that, like, we lost the order of to learning why. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu then I start wasn't called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, was called Jiu-Jitsu. Everybody in Brazil was doing Jiu-Jitsu, not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the Grace family, they brand up and put as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and build a federation to set a group of rules. What Helio Gracie, that's one that did a lot of changing on the concept, was against. But one of his son, Carlos Gracie, actually I don't know if he's a son, okay, but developed the federation. The federation needs set of rules, and when you start to set rules, one of the most important rules is time, right? Because people need to watch it, and cannot be unlimited time. But that is the most important thing against the self-defense Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because the self-defense doesn't require time. The time is in my favor. If I go and I clinch you, bring you to the ground and hold you there, the time is in my favor. I don't need to rush. I need to go slow and steady to get a better position. Like the anaconda want to get a prey is different than a lion want to get a prey. It's completely different approach. So the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is self-defense, not self-attack. So because it's a self-defense, the time doesn't count. I want to hold you to you don't hurt me. I don't want to hold you to hurt you. And today, because they wanna the show for TV, for the sport and everything, have a rules to set a way to you have more speed it up in the process. When you speed it up the process, you lose the core.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's definitely well said.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the same thing with judo too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of what happened when judo got more into the sports side. You got more matches, and they changed a lot of rule changes simply to make it more entertaining. In a way, so. I
went to a seminar, maybe 2003, 2002, for a guy that went to Japan to learn about jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu was the first martial arts with gi. If from the jiu-jitsu came karate, came judo, and came every martial arts with gi. But because some people want a more attack, they put more the karate style. And the judo thing was more to teach with less injuries for the students. Because karate have a punch on your face with no gloves all the time, right? So it's not everyone that want to learn that. And from there I start to open again. So when jiu-jitsu arrived in Brazil, was that jiu-jitsu, the basic from them, then had punch, kick, chokes, and everything, locks. But then the Brazilian took it out some aspect of the fight, like judo, and put like keep having a self-defense aspect with open hands. The time then I learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was a lot of striking with open hands to don't hurt yourself, to you don't break your hand, and you to don't hurt your partner, because then you're not gonna have partner tomorrow.
Yeah, real talk.
That's facts.
Yeah. And then was a lot of open hand with the sense keep going the ground, right? Because before on boxing, they put the same aspect on the rules of stop, come back standing, and keep going. That's a rule to keep be able to have attacking all the time. And with the UFC, the first UFC was made for one of the kids from Hélio Gracie that had the idea to show to everybody the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was the most efficient martial arts as system to defend themselves, and show that was the truth. But then it's boring. People don't want to see somebody hug each other for a half hour.
Right.
For
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Back in the day in Brazil, I had some fights before my time. There was like 1 hour, 2 hours of fighting. They fight each other because it's just grappling, right? A lot of grappling, because I don't give you my opponent the space to punch me. So it's a lot of grappling. When he open a space and can headbutt me or punch or elbow, then I will be a cut, but didn't knock me out. So keep it going. So with the blood and sweat and keep rolling, that was our. I used to do this kind of rolls with my coach without the punch part, open hand, and we trained for 30 minutes, 40 minutes straight. And right now, even in my classes, I have a clock. Right? Clock 5 minutes, stop, start again, stop, start again, because that's a competition aspect of the fight. And then, because the competition aspect of the fight, the BJJ start to have the same thing, like the guy don't do close guard anymore. Why? Because it's not efficient for the game in the competition, because you're gonna lose time. The guy on top gonna hold for a little bit. He threw you 2 points, then time is over and you lose by 2 points by the throw. But on the one of the most known fights of Hélio Gracie, he was fighting a guy that was 2 times his size for 40 minutes, many throws, but in a finish. And that's what he was trying to prove. He can fight with someone bigger,
Right.
and don't get hurt and keep going.
Now, I have to ask this. What do you enjoy most about BJJ?
The game is a game, right? Every sport is a game. So when we play some game, then you learn how to protect yourself and how to be fit, how to expend some energy, and still playing a game is a win-win situation. I have fun with my friends. I play the game. I lose like some extra calories, and one really important thing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in my opinion, is the one of the most, if not the unique, but martial arts that you can do until unite, because you can play the game slow and don't hurt each other. You cannot do that in boxing. You cannot do that in wrestling. I cannot do that in judo. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I can play the grappling game with a 60, 70, 80 years old person, and both still having fun playing the game. That's one of the things that make me fall in love with Jiu-Jitsu, because you don't get hurt.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off that. You're absolutely right. One of the major appeals here in America, and I guess it's a really good thing for marketing, is just that the get hurt factor is extremely. There are a lot more pluses than negatives with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That one, you get in great shape.
Helps a lot.
All right, you get in great shape. You also the biggest thing is that you learn how to effectively defend yourself on the ground, on your back, on top position, side, and things like that. So, and yes, the number one that I've talked to so many people, I've experienced it myself. It was the only time I wasn't sore.
Yeah, you don't get don't get sore, and you don't get accident injuries so often. Like in judo, you throw, the guy put the hand in the wrong place and dislocate the shoulder, and how are you gonna train tomorrow? Cannot train it tomorrow. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, even though we start standing, when if you're not feeling well, you sit down and you bring your partner with you and keep rolling the ground, and don't get like this kind of accident injuries. Yeah. Like boxing, you can really go slow with someone, but then it's boring because you're not trying to really
get the maximum benefit.
Yeah, you're not trying to score as you want. Like I on the score system on the boxing, I need aim for your head, aim for your body. I cannot do that slow, because you're gonna see you're gonna block. So cannot play this game in slow motion. On Jiu-Jitsu, I'm gonna try to be on top, and the guy gonna try to reverse that, being on the bottom, called sweep, right? And the game of don't need be in full speed. I can hide the positions in different body movements that my opponent not gonna see coming, and when I apply, both are gonna open a smile, like, oh, I got you, and nobody gonna get hurt.
So you can actually say that during the time that you've trained in BJJ, you have never sustained an injury.
I am 42 years old. I never did surgery other than my hand that I broke in the UFC. I fought for UFC for 10 years, and I don't have shoulder surgery, I don't have knee surgery, I don't have ankle, nothing. I'm really healthy. Of course, my genetics helps a little because I'm big, but if you respect your body, it's really hard to get hurt on Jiu-Jitsu. But in that guy, then that time, then you sleep and you step wrong and hurt your ankle. Yes, these injuries happen, but these injuries happen in the swimming. Right? You do have a problem on shoulders of swimmers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rotator cuff.
Yeah, I bet if you soccer, tennis, football, basketball hurts much more than jiu-jitsu. The guy jumping and hitting the floor all the time, the knees, ankles go nuts. You're gonna lose his. I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu every day since 1994. You guys just saw I just came out from the class. I train it every day. To put in average, I train 300 days a year since 1994.
Well, I mean, we are gonna get into that the superhuman status though, because I mean, you were an elite fighter.
But right, no, but not
Well,
just
you're not the
me.
one of the mill guy.
Right.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
true.
No.
True.
If you respect your body, I do see some students then get injury because they don't respect their own body.
Right.
Well, I was gonna talk about that real quick because it was so I ended up in Fayetteville. I had to I did an episode with another gentleman, called him the Giant Slayer, and I had never had somebody that small move me around before. And I was like, well, I didn't get smashed. And so he was like, well, big guys typically do the smash because you're a big guy and you're just bulky and you're on the mat. And he was like, man, it was great. You're a big dude, but you moved around so smoothly, and stuff like that. So, I mean, and I was coming off an injury too. So it was just kind of like, oh, wow, this is, I don't know where I was going with this.
About the injuries,
But it's very important to have the proper martial education to be able to choose something. When you can do an art for the rest of your life, that's a good art.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's a good art. When you can do it for the rest of your life, it's a good art. And there are plenty of arts where there's an expiration date
Yeah.
for some art.
Yeah, you ain't kicking like that no more.
Like I have a lot of students that came from wrestling. Wrestling is a really nice self-defense martial arts. But as a practice, you cannot practice that for more than 5-7 years in the competition level.
Right.
Your body gonna be destroyed because you go 100%. The other guy is going 100% all the time, so collapse. Body's collapsing all the time. So shoulder, head, and arms, and when you don't want to fall under, so you put the arms on the floor, and then you carry with one hand. You carry your weight and your partner, your opponent's weight in one hand. So that's it's hard because cannot go slow as a competition level. But that's a competition level. BJJ, of course, you cannot go slow too. But the wrestling, the natural position, like judo, you need to have explosions to capitalize and make the fight finish, right? You get the ippon, you get the score. You need to have explosions to that. So everybody, your body is exploding to do something. It's spraying to. That's not natural. So your body complains, breaks. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's more smooth. You can play smooth. A lot of hiding power, but it's a power that comes low. It's not a power that go exploding all the time. Of course, we do have some explosions, but not all the time, 100% of the time.
Yeah, I noticed that you have some BJJ schools that are very aggressive, and then you have some BJJ schools that are soft. Like, because that's what jujitsu, jujitsu means soft.
Yeah, it's accommodation, right? Like they say, flow like the water.
Flow. Yeah.
Flow like the water, because the water to go through the rock, go around the rock, right? So if you don't have the power to go through, but you accommodate the water,
Right.
Accommodate your body to. That's the only way that a small guy can not get hurt and not get tired. Not get tired, because if I'm strong and the other guy is strong, and both doing power at the same time, one gonna lose because I have little less power. In BJJ, the trick is trying to do as less power possible. That's one way to.
Yeah, that's like one of those
Develop.
maximum efficiency, minimum strength and effort kind of maxims. And
Yes, it's very common. It's very, very common, because we teach Japanese martial arts. So I teach taijutsu. And taijutsu is just another way of saying jujitsu. And so the goal is always to use less power, more efficient technique.
Exactly.
All right. Period. I have to ask you this. What is your favorite strike or submission that you go into that it comes without a drop of dime? It just comes like boom all the time. You win it all the time.
I try to, like, it's cliche, but I try to accommodate the best for situation for the different opponent.
thank you. That
Okay,
that was the
okay.
best answer you could have said.
Smart.
I was glad you said that answer. I was looking at you get nervous for a minute, going, what do you mean? You have a favorite?
No, you have go-tos. You have go-tos
Yes.
where every time, like Ronda Rousey, she always went to the juji all the time.
It's one of them things when
On everyone.
I was explaining that once to somebody about the tukuiwaza. Tukuiwaza, it's not my favorite technique. It's the technique that I get all the time because somebody else has put themselves in that position
Right.
for that technique. And so, like in my particular case, I would normally get ɡabɾiʻew, right? And it's not because for whatever it is, however I move, I almost always put myself in that position where somebody can get around me that way, which puts me in that position for that ɡabṟiʻew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I do have some positions that occur more naturally, and I believe that come from muscle memory, right? But it can be your best position if your opponent never in the right spot. Not gonna happen. That, but I do like some, but naturally sweeps and things like that. I don't have name specific. One day that I most use is pendulum sweep with my student, but I never use that in tournaments after blue belt because I don't let myself be on the bottom that much. But here on the training with my students, I'm the bottom all the time to try to make them evolve. So I put myself in the place. But in the tournaments, normally I try to don't get there.
I like that.
So now we're gonna switch gears a little bit. I do know that at one point in time, and I'm shocked we didn't meet even back then. That you had worked some stand up with the Whitleys, Brent Whitley.
Yes.
When you were in,
All right.
yeah, those are
All right, I
brothers.
didn't know
like
that.
we're all all part of the
Okay.
same like network and stuff like that. In fact, we have an episode coming up with the twins and stuff with the boxing and everything like that coming up. So. You did actually do some professional boxing. On your bio, it says at least one professional fight shows up,
Yes.
and stuff like that. Now, what possessed you to get into boxing?
In 2002, maybe 3, when I started to do I said, I'm gonna do some MMA, but I need to at least survive standing.
Okay.
Right? I cannot go, I'm gonna put the guy down. Everybody was learning already jiu-jitsu a little bit, so it's much one of the most efficient way to to learn how to block is easier to learn how to attack. So people to avoid jiu-jitsu and keep standing is easier than learn jiu-jitsu. And I said, oh, I need to at least survive standing, because if I could not bring the guy to the ground, I don't want to get knocked out for like looking dumb there. So I did boxing every day like 3 times a week for 2 years straight. 3 times a week, 2 years. Boxing, specifically boxing. It's not a boxing for MMA, real boxing. Back in 2003, 2002. But then I started to fight for professionally MMA. So I never stopped boxing. I always had boxing in my training camp. So I did. Here and there I do boxing for almost 20 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So I did to basically to get to understand and learn boxing. I did that in judo. I did that in wrestling. I did that a little bit in Muay Thai, not that much, but basically well done. So, yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, no, okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So, did you find it? So, you all the grappling arts. Did you find that they were similar in some way, shapes, or forms? Like it was a lot easier to adapt to, like when you did. I'm assuming it was probably either folk style or Greco-Roman for wrestling, and then and you obviously for judo. I mean the tachiwaza, but then the newaza is kind of the same. Depends on the ref. That's a dig that's going to get me in trouble.
And the old school too, depends the school. In Brazil, it's really strong judo. But in judo in Brazil, more than 20 years that they train together with jiu-jitsu. They have like cross training a lot. So we learn judo with them, and they learn jiu-jitsu.
So you were doing more of the collegiate style. So we call it koshin. It's judo, but they allow the newaza to continue. So they don't. So it's not. It doesn't have the speed. Like you don't have the typical 25 seconds. Like the ref's not going to stand you up. You keep playing on the ground. You go out of bounds. They move you to the middle of the mat and let you keep going.
When I did judo in Brazil, no, was judo, man. Like just standing. Go to the ground, like 3-4 seconds, stand up. No, like really ground game. Okay. And but because I always did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I did both at the same time together. So my brain, I learned how to bring one to the other, and vice versa. So
that's cool.
And when I started doing MMA, I started doing wrestling too, because there's no gi. But when I was old school style, my coach, we had some days on the week, and then he said, everybody take it out the top part of your gi and let's fight. And we did the no gi that classified today as a different class, a different approach. Ours was in our class when I was a kid. So sometimes with the slap in the face, keep going, open hand, grappling, rolling, right? So when we brought that for competition, I compete my little bit of no give with the competition that people start to make it. And back in 1998, 99, I was competing no gi already. So I need to learn a little bit of wrestling to don't fall easy. And I never I learned how to stop pull guard in 1998. 99. When I got my black belt, I stopped pull guard. 99. And yeah, so wrestling, Greco, everything was together in the training sessions. So, and when I moved here, so the wrestling become more, I could learn more, because a lot of wrestlers visiting, and I do ask a lot. The guy know more than me, I gonna ask him everything to him to show me and learn. I love to learn.
Man, that's awesome, man. That's the best way to be. That makes you a martial artist. That's all that's happening there.
That's the only way to go. Let me ask you. All right, so you were the heavyweight champion in UFC 70?
I wasn't by the belt. I fought with Cro Cop in the 70, and I won, but wasn't by the belt.
That was a devastating knockout. I remember that.
The 70, I don't remember the number. The 72, maybe 76 or I think. I fought with Mirko for the title, but I lost. But
how was it? I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. All right, so check this out. What I was gonna ask was, what do you think separated you from the rest of your competitors in that division? Like, you know, what made you who you are stand out above everyone else?
I believe that first the illusion, then we believe too much on yourself, right? When you do believe in yourself, you do things that maybe if you didn't, you wouldn't do. So I did believe in myself a lot, and because I started really early, I had the lucky to start early, and I never need to learn how to throw a punch before I become a black belt. So I learned separately the martial arts. I learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and become good on that. Then I stopped, not stop, I put aside and learn boxing. Then I put aside, then I learned a little bit of Muay Thai. Then I put aside a little bit of wrestling. And then I keep adding everything. So that's, you don't see that much today. Sometimes when we do a comparison here, I tell my students and we laugh about is a duck. What's a duck? Duck's an animal that fly, but don't fly like an eagle. He swim, but don't swim like a fish. He run, but don't run like a lion. So he know how to do everything, but never, he don't know nothing really well. So that's what happened with a lot of guys today. I want to do martial arts. I want to do mixed martial arts. And he go to a gym, sign for mixed martial arts, and in 3 years he believes he can fight in UFC. Rarely someone that can do that. That's extreme lucky person with a good training, good coaching, good. But normally, as a natural human being, you need to learn the process. Nobody gonna be a dentist in 3 years. You need to learn how to read, how to write, then go for the next level. Or need to learn science, biology, then go to the next level. Then keep improving, putting things on top. If you go straight to being a dentist, you're gonna miss a lot of things. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes because you didn't have the foundation.
Correct.
Man, the foundation is important. So I'm gonna switch a little gears real quick. So I don't know how to say it properly, but why do they call you Big Nose? I'm looking, but here's the thing. I'm looking at my nose, looking at his, and looking at you like, I'm like, dude, we all got the same size nose. Why are they calling you Big Nose?
Because when I was young, in Brazil, we get the nickname not because you like it, because you dislike it.
Okay.
Today they call that bullying you, all right? But that I believe bullying in the right amount is not wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Put you in the sense of understand your flaws and work around that. So then they used to make fun of my nose because I was smaller, so the nose would the nostrils.
Okay, all right. So you have the big,
It's too big. That was.
I feel your pain, man.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
But in Brazil, or you adopt it and accept that, or you're gonna be crying the rest of your life, because if you too tall, they're gonna call you something. If you too small, they're gonna call you something. And keep going. It's not because you're different they're not gonna call you. They will call you, and you learn how it is. Pretend that you know what you are. Not gonna solve the problem.
Yeah, that's right up there with Razzrow.
Oh yeah.
That's a trigger.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah, you do not like that. All right.
So, I mean, so you did the UFC and all this other stuff, and you did UFC, and so you're retired now, just coaching, teaching.
I'm trying to retire since 2010.
Trying to retire.
I was about to say,
Wait a minute, you're still getting it in.
No, I'm right now. I don't have nothing coming up.
Listen.
I'm officially retired.
You are 40. Wait a minute, you're 42 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. We're both going to be 46, so you're a young couple. Okay, I'm like, I feel like you still got enough in there. I was watching you work earlier. I'm like, it still looks like you got a lot in the basement. Man.
You were just playing around. You were playing around.
Yeah, he really was too. He wasn't even
playing
breaking a
around.
sweat. I'm like, they were down there sweating. He's like, oh.
Yeah, no. I think I'm gonna compete the rest of my life, like at least Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something like that here and there, because I do like the feeling, the motivation, the goal. So when you have a competition, you have a goal, and when you have a goal, the trainings become easier and become natural. When you need to go to the gym for no reason, it's really hard. I do have the skills, then I teach, right? So I have my students, or I come to the gym just to teach. But when you have the goal to compete, you're gonna train, you're gonna help the kids to train, and that's easier to put the work on your body, on your body. And yeah, I think I'm gonna compete forever. But I was trying to retire in UFC since 2010, but it's hard to say no to the money and for the competition side too. So.
And I mean, you never know. You get out there, and bam, and the next thing.
I do see the guys in UFC. I could win like a lot of the guys in the heavyweight division. Not the top dogs, right? But in the beginner, the division, I have so many fighters that is my level or less than my level. But first, they don't want to pay me the money. Then I do believe that's the minimum to go there and put the training for this kind of fight, right? It's not to go there and fight. If they invite me to fight tomorrow, I go. But the training to do the proper fight, that's what beat your body. So that's why I'm not the training body and mentally. It's not just the body, because the stress of when you have a fight coming up.
Yeah, you have to take the time off, and then your life goes on hold.
You don't give attention to your other aspects of my life. I cannot teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and fight. It's really hard to do both and have my school. And that's why my school is growing right now. Before my school never really grew that much, because I was here, but I was I wasn't mentally that much here. I was here physically teaching some class, but I wasn't mentally that much. Now I'm more in a compete, like a boxing fight or a bare knuckle fight than I did fight. That's easier than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu than MMA. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is easy too because it's just one aspect of the fight. And when you put MMA, you need to have grappling game, stand-up game, conditioning game.
Yes.
Everything need to be sharp on top.
15 minutes is a long time to go and be going full bore.
Yeah, with small gloves, right? At least in the boxing, you have big gloves.
Well, yeah, you got a lot of space, like, so a glancing blow works.
Yeah.
So you fought for the title was
Range Couture.
Yeah, it was Randy Couture, right?
Yes.
So the natural. So how was it to be in the ring with somebody like that?
That fight has so many different aspects of fights. In MMA, one of the big aspect that was really stressful to me personally is no matter how well prepared you are, you still can lose. Right? If you go to a test, I wanna be an engineer. Okay, you do this test here and become an engineer. You study. You know how much you study. You put the time, and you're gonna be an engineer. Don't have no possible way to do. When you go for a MMA career, you study, go there and lose. It's not because you didn't do good, it's because your opponent did better than you. That's the problem. So my fight with Range Couture, I was really well for the fight. It was one of my best conditioning on my life and in the career. Prepared, everything was perfect. I did not have any injury before the fight. I was 100% healthy. On the fight, I was dominating the beginning of the fight. He did what he do well. He clinched and put me down. But put me down wouldn't be a big problem because I'm in the ground. I would survive and come back standing. That was the game plan because I was better reach and a better Muay Thai box condition than him. And when he put me down, I don't know if it was his head or my own knee hit my nose, and I broke my nose on the second round, I believe. So the blood started going inside my mouth, getting out from my mouth. So I need to swallow a little the blood, and he landed another punch. And then a splash from the blood went inside my eyes, and my eyes I was blinking, and I was seeing everything pink. Then I didn't know, but I said to the I can't see. I was saying to the referee, and he said, keep fighting. Because I was asking him just to call the doctor to clean, right? But of course, don't have time. Right. Time. I want to clean my.
Hey, time out. Wait a minute.
It doesn't work that way.
Can somebody get my waffle?
Yeah, but I was kind of forcing him a little bit to stop and to clean, because some the referees normally stop to clean and see how much was the damage, whatever. And that he did that kind of works. But then I was afraid of, because it was broken. I was afraid to have a second punch in the broken nose. Mentally, that broke me out. Like, man, what happened if I have a punch on the broken nose? I don't know.
No, man. You might need nose surgery. Maybe a plastic surgeon with your name on it.
Yeah, but the problem, I didn't know how bad it could be, because the small glove, right? And the nose is already broken and already bleeding out a lot. in my head, I said, man, if gonna break my jaw, my upper jaw, gonna collapse my teeth inside. I'm gonna, like, everything was passing in seconds in my head. And so I overprotected myself. I put my hands to block every punch coming. And on your mind, the time goes tick, tick.
Oh yeah.
But the real so I was fine. I say, he put me down. He lands a couple blows on my arm. So I was fine. But the referee stopped it because I wasn't reacting. I said, part of the rules. So wasn't a bad call. Was my bad call mentally, because I thought I'm fine. He's not hitting me. He's not hitting me here. He's not hitting me. And then I stopped the fight. After the fight, we discovered I broke his arm with one of the kicks. So he was with a broken arm too. So if the fight keep going like 2 more rounds, he didn't have power to. He would lose the power of keep punching or keep grappling. And I was,
wow, man. I'm
part
like,
of the game.
Yeah.
That I lost some fights that I should win. That fight I should win, and I won some fights that I should lose. Then I had some injuries before the fight. I wasn't well prepared because life problems. I didn't train how should you train. So part of the game. Sometimes you win when you should lose. Sometimes you lose when you shouldn't win.
Now, did you actually have a relationship with some of these, some of your competitors? Because, you have some that are actual friends, but they've been lined up.
I never fought with someone that was my friend. No. After my fights, sometimes I went to train. So I went to train Couture's gym after I fought with him. Because at that time was a good place to have a good training. So I went over there. But we did train one time only. He was busy doing some movies and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's all right. I mean, still to this day, that's the best practice. Whether I win or lose in a contest, especially if I lost to somebody, I'm definitely going to your gym to work out. Because I want to know what I did wrong. So, all right, well, Sensei, I mean, thank you for giving us your time. Because I know you were doing all that work, and we've been talking for about an hour. So that's Hey man, I can get anybody to talk a long time.
Man, it was 1 hour. It looked like 10 minutes.
It was good. Yeah, time goes by quick when you're having fun with something you love.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, guys.
Yes, we appreciate you.
And stuff. We'll have to make it a point to come by and actually work out. Well, I will have to make it a point to come by and actually work out on the days you have
more
class.
Than welcome. We have the judo classes here, Monday, Wednesday, and BJJ classes here.
I'm gonna be here tomorrow.
So I'll be here too.
That's good.
But I need to make it a point to come in for the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. If of course, if I'm welcome to come.
Always. My gym is open to every single person that want to come with respect.
Sweet.
All right. So for those that don't know you, where are you located?
We are in the 333 Shrewsbury Street, Worcester, Massachusetts. So everybody can come. Squared BJJ is the name of the team. So that's it.
There it is. That's it. All right. So
look at this guy.
No, I got giggles, man.
3, 2, 1.
I'm with my partner, as always, Ɡabṛiʻew Shidoshi.
And I'm with my partner here, Israel Lopez Sensei. And you are watching. Listening to the Marshall Maze.
Yes.
All right. We're going to make that correction.
Yeah. All right. But we're out.
We're out.